Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Turn around, let me see. Okay, come here. Stop. Stop. Come here. Come here. Late night, date night, movie date. Quick question. All right, so I don't know if you've been following my reviews, but so Wayne has been dating Tamara, aka Honeypot. That's her nickname. And they ain't been dating that long, but like after a couple days, they ended up sleeping together. All right, they slept together. He gave her the other day $30,000 in cash and said that's her allowance every month. And then he gave her, I think it was like another $12,000 to pay off her ex-boyfriend because they were in business together, and he had helped out with the dance studio. Here's my question to you as a wife: what are the dangers, or does it matter if you playing house, especially super soon like that? That's my first question. And then the second part is, he done introduced her to his kids now.
You said 3 days? A couple of dates?
It's literally been like...
Just a few dates?
Not even that. It's been one date, a date that lasted all day. But they only been together a couple of days. Okay. Less than a month, put it that way. No, less than a month. Okay. What are the dangers of playing house, if at all? And then how soon is it to introduce somebody to your kids?
So, playing house is dangerous, though it is comforting. It's very comforting. I mean, if you had the choice, would you skip the trailer and go to the movie, right? Would you skip the appetizer and go for the entree? It's comforting because it gives you the luxury of the full real thing. The challenge is sometimes skip steps, almost like just like a recipe. Skip steps may result in something falling. I love to bake. One of my favorite things to bake is a pound cake. And I can do all the things that I should do. I'm not giving y'all my recipe, but I can do all the things that I'm supposed to do, add all the ingredients, start to add the ingredients, but if I leave out some of the critical pieces, then the cake's gonna fall, even if it tries to rise in the oven. It might try, right? When you skip steps and you're like, hoping for marriage, I'm speaking naturally, not as spiritually right now, but when you skip steps, you can sometimes slow down what could have been a solid pace for that marriage because you're overlooking key ingredients. Though, Lord, my brain is failing me. Baking powder, right? That is a very small amount that I add relative to all the other ingredients in the cake, but it's very important. All the ingredients in the cake matter, and the sequence in which they happen also matter. What could end up being missed is that you miss the opportunity to learn some of the most important things about that person. And I'm gonna also tell you this, as someone who's I launched my career firstly in talent, right? One thing I learned is that people know how to represent themselves well. Interviewing is almost like dating, right? I learned how to speak the language well, do what I have to do to get my foot in the door. Sometimes if you put sex on the table early, then you can miss a lot of the critical conversations, the critical habits, the deal breakers, because you distracted the whole situation. It's like interviewing, dating. It's like interviewing. And then you get to see the actual habits, the real-time tension, the challenges, what they're actually good at versus what they said that they were good at. If you're rushing, it's one of the biggest investments that you'll ever make in your life. So if you're rushing, you got to be ready with the possibility that investment might fall flat in some ways. So that's just part of my struggle. The spiritual side of it, baby, we need a whole hour-long conversation.
So the other part was that I really want to get your thought on too. It's like a caveat or a clause B in the first part. Is he put her, and mind you, they ain't been together more than a month, more than maybe 2.5 weeks. He put her on an allowance where she's getting $30,000 a month. That's going to go right to her account. All right. He gave her the G-Wagon, said that's hers. He's been introducing her to his whole family, saying, this is my wife. Y'all, this is my wife. We about to get married. Yeah, this is my wife. Okay. Is that problematic too soon? Or is that, what is that? As a wife, what is that? How should, because a lot of people were saying they were happy for her because she was being spoiled, she was being pampered. Is it something that people are missing outside of them being excited for her being pampered?
I mentioned earlier the comforts, right? What you're describing is some of the luxuries that come with being married, but they haven't had a chance to create the battleground around their foundation and the things that are most essential to sustain a marriage, right? He sounds like he's in love. Maybe. And again, we talked about this in like one of our last conversations. Wanting to be married versus wanting to marry this specific person. I don't know how much they've been able to learn about each other on a just basic friendship level. What he knows about her bag. Did he even smell her gas? Does he know what that smell like? Is she lactose intolerant? Huh? All that kind of stuff. Like, this is the cute part, but and I love love, right? Like, I love love. I'm a really big fan, okay? But love is an emotion. We talked about that part too. Partnership and marriage, it's a commitment and it's a behavior. And they have not created any form of foundation, though they are playing with the luxuries. They are playing with those luxuries. And who doesn't love a good vacation? The warm towels, someone bringing out your food and serving you. Those are momentary highs. Momentary highs. The test of a relationship is what happens with some tension, where conflict resolution is needed, where my ideal and idea of you is falling short from my imagination. I think that he's in a luxurious place when he can build a whole future based on his imagination and not necessarily based on the reality. And that is a part of the danger of jumping in too soon, right? Again, I got something to say about that other part, because, I'm going to just say this. When you also introduce sex and stuff like that early, you open yourself up to STDs, spiritually transmitted diseases, and spiritual things that were not your burden, that now you find yourself tussling with your stuff and they stuff, okay? At least you have some level of grace of it in marriage, and when to do it, that's a whole other conversation. We can go down a rabbit hole, but I caution you. People will always be there for the high. People will always enjoy the high, but you cannot build a relationship on the high. You have to have it balanced. You've had some challenges. You've had some great moments. And what is the average? You don't know yet.
Last question for me out of here. How soon is it to introduce your kids to your significant other? Or when is the right time? I'm not it also depends on how old the kids are. I'm not a fan of intertwine, for me, right? Everybody measure their own life, but I'm not a fan of introducing the kids too early. I'm not going to introduce my children to you unless I know that this has potential to go a long stretch. Because sometimes, people can get emotionally attached and things like that, but not everybody is worthy of being kind of blended in a little bit into my family. And I don't want to create any strife too early, too soon. Again, he's making hefty decisions based on the high of the relationship. And he hasn't measured it out and sat with it a little bit. It ain't even been months. I know some people that fall in love quickly, and, maybe they just are discerning and they know they're the one, but he's making critical, he's high like Iman. He's love high. He's love high. That's hilarious.
And the conclusions and things that you come to in that state are a little bit different from when you're sober. He needs to make some sober decisions.
One more thing.
Slow down, partner.
One thing.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you, boo.
You the best date
It's
ever.
date night.
You the best date ever. That means y'all know what that means. Y'all gonna get y'all reviews when I get home. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.